Sister Wives Kody Brown butted heads with another Special Forces female. Reality television has long thrived on drama, strong personalities, and clashes that unfold in real time. One of the most recent incidents stirring conversations comes from Special Forces, World's Toughest Test, where Sister Wives patriarch Kody Brown reportedly butted heads with another female contestant. Known for his fiery personality, outspoken views, and sometimes controversial ways of handling situations, Kody's participation in a high-intensity survival-style show was bound to attract attention. But what fans did not expect was yet another confrontation that has reignited debates about his behavior, leadership style, and ability to coexist with women outside his polygamous family structure. This latest conflict has become a focal point for viewers who follow both Sister Wives and Special Forces, as it highlights Kody's ongoing struggle with authority, gender dynamics, and teamwork in high-stress environments. What started as a simple disagreement quickly escalated into a clash that showcased Kody's inability to adapt, as well as the resilience of the women who stood their ground against him. Kody's transition from polygamist patriarch to survival contestant. Kody Brown rose to fame on TLC's Sister Wives, a series that explored his polygamous marriage with multiple wives and the complex family dynamics that came with it. Over the years, viewers watched as his relationships unraveled, with 3 of his wives eventually leaving the marriage, leaving him legally and spiritually tied only to Robin. For many fans, Kody's downfall was tied directly to his domineering behavior, difficulty with compromise, and belief that his way was always the best way. Joining Special Forces, World's Toughest Test marked a sharp departure from the family drama of Sister Wives. On the new show, Kody found himself stripped of his patriarchal authority and placed in a physically and emotionally grueling competition where former athletes, actors, reality stars, and public figures test their endurance. In this arena, rank and power meant little. Participants were judged by their teamwork, grit, and resilience. For Kody, it was a harsh reality check that not everyone would bow to his way of thinking. The female contestants who challenged him. The environment of Special Forces naturally bred tension, but Kody's clashes with female contestants stood out. In earlier episodes, he had already shown signs of frustration when women challenged his leadership or contradicted his strategies. While he seemed to view himself as a natural leader, many of the women on the show were unwilling to submit to his dominance, sparking moments of verbal sparring. The latest confrontation involved a female contestant who refused to let Kody dictate the pace of a challenge. Accounts from those close to production suggest that Kody grew increasingly agitated when his authority was questioned. Instead of adjusting to the rhythm of group cooperation, he became confrontational, accusing his teammate of undermining him. The woman, however, held her ground and reminded Kody that the competition was about collaboration, not control. This exchange struck a chord with viewers who had long witnessed Kody's troubled relationships on Sister Wives. Many felt it was yet another instance of his inability to communicate effectively with women who asserted independence and rejected his attempts to dominate. A clash of egos. Reality shows thrive on the collision of personalities, and Kody's presence on Special Forces was practically guaranteed to ignite sparks. Known for his quick temper, sharp words, and tendency to lecture, Kody walked into the competition already carrying a reputation. The female contestant, equally determined and unwilling to be intimidated, became the perfect counterbalance. During a grueling physical task, Kody reportedly insisted on taking the lead and dictating how the group should proceed. His teammate disagreed, suggesting an alternative approach that she believed was safer and more effective. Instead of considering her perspective, Kody allegedly dismissed her input and doubled down on his own plan. This resulted in a heated back and forth, with Kody raising his voice and the woman refusing to back down. What unfolded was less about strategy and more about ego. Kody seemed to struggle with the idea that a woman could not only question, but directly oppose him. For fans of Sister Wives, the exchange felt all too familiar, echoing the many arguments he had with his wives over the years about decision-making, respect, and autonomy. How viewers interpreted the conflict. The incident quickly became a talking point among fans of both shows. For longtime viewers of Sister Wives, the confrontation only reinforced existing opinions about Kody's inability to handle strong-willed women. Many drew parallels between this clash and his past disputes with Christine, Janelle, and Mary, where he often insisted on being the final authority. Some viewers expressed frustration, arguing that Kody had learned little from his failed marriages and was simply repeating the same patterns in a new setting. Others, however, suggested that the competition's high-pressure environment may have amplified his tendencies, pushing him to react defensively. Regardless of interpretation, the general consensus was that the female contestant gained admiration for standing up to him. Her ability to hold her ground against Kody's forceful personality resonated with fans who had long wished that his wives had pushed back harder during their years of conflict. Gender dynamics on display. Beyond the surface-level drama, the confrontation also brought larger issues of gender dynamics into the spotlight. Special Forces places men and women side by side in extreme conditions, demanding equal contributions from all participants. Unlike in Sister Wives, where Kody often structured family life around his role as the head of the household, this show offered no such hierarchy. For Kody, who had spent decades operating in a family system built around his authority, this environment was disorienting. Stripped of his control, he appeared to revert to old habits, trying to assert dominance rather than embracing cooperation. The female contestant, on the other hand, embodied the modern rejection of outdated gender roles, refusing to allow herself to be sidelined or dictated to. This cultural clash played out in front of millions of viewers, making it more than just reality TV drama. It became a symbolic representation of changing attitudes toward gender equality, leadership, and respect. The emotional fallout. After the confrontation, Kody reportedly struggled to regroup. Unlike in his family dynamic, where his wives often tried to de-escalate conflict for the sake of harmony, the contestants on Special Forces had little patience for his outbursts. The female contestant in question moved forward confidently, showing no signs of regret for standing up to him. Kody, however, appeared visibly shaken, grappling with the idea that his leadership had been undermined. Some reports suggest he became more isolated after the incident, choosing to interact less with certain contestants and focusing more on completing tasks individually. This retreat highlighted his difficulty adjusting to an environment where compromise and humility were as valuable as strength and determination.